Pastors Chooks and Toyin Ogoye. Pastors Chooks and Toyin Ogoye are the lead pastors of Resurrection Life Church, Johannesburg, South Africa. They are passionate about building families and raising men and women who transform and uplift the standard of life in their communities through understanding and applying biblical principles. Pastor Chooks and Pastor Toyin frequently host workshops, seminars, and conferences for transformation. Some of their programs include Kingdom Financiers Conferences, Dream Achievers Conferences, Marriage Enrichment Courses and Seminars, For Wives Only Seminars, Single Ladies Boot Camps, and Limitless Men Seminars. They are the founders of the Power of Women Academy, a group mentorship for high-impact women, and host the annual Power of Women conferences and amazing Power of Women broadcasts. For more information, please visit www.idelight.co.za and www.reslife.org.za or WhatsApp +27 814 210 835.
Good evening, welcome, and another welcome. It's a Friday evening and it's Thank God It's Friday. Thank God It's Friday is the time we engage wisdom from the Word of God regarding relationships. This is when we learn wisdom for relationships. I am Dr. Chuck Sugoi here, and I am very excited for what the Lord has for us for tonight in Thank God It's Friday. I want to deal with some very, very, very exciting and very important topic today. Listen. This is really good. It's good for men. It's good for women. It's good for single people. It's good for married people. And the topic is why men cheat and what women can do about it. Why men cheat and what women can do about it. That's our topic today. Why men cheat and what women can do about it. Okay. All right. So the concept of infidelity, the phenomena of infidelity is a very serious issue. I was on national radio some time back dealing with the issue of infidelity. And my goodness, in fact, the radio station kept on asking me to come back the next week. I was there for I think 4 weeks in a row because it opened up so much. You know, the whole week, the mistake I made was to give our number over the air. It was ringing, men and women crying, complaining. It was just big. It was just a big issue. So it's a problem that is plaguing homes, plaguing marriages, plaguing relationships, and we need to understand it. We need to understand what to do. Women, the truth is that men and women cheat, okay? So cheating is not just something that men do. Women also cheat, because if a man is cheating, he's not cheating with himself, he's cheating with somebody. So women cheat. But statistics has it that, you know, the tendency for cheating is higher with married men, than married women. You know, I think I saw a statistic that says, you know, 20% of men cheat and 15% of women cheat. So cheating is there. Both men and women, you know, cheat. But today, we want to look at it from a certain angle. The reason that men cheat. So apparently there are reasons that women cheat. You know, it's different. But the reason that men cheat and what women can do about it. Maybe in the future I will deal with the reasons women cheat and what men can do about it. Okay. So but today, let's deal with the reasons why men cheat and what women can do about it. Now there are a number of lists that you can find, you know, of why men cheat. And some of them, my list is not exhaustive. You know, some of them include, you know, anger or revenge. So a person is angry with their spouse and then they want to get even in the flesh. So they go to cheat. You know, they're angry because they have cheated. They're angry because they are not home. You know, they've denied them for a while. There are issues in the relationship, and this person wants to get even, and the way to get even is to go and cheat. So that's one reason, revenge or anger. Another reason that people give is, we are falling out of love. There's no love anymore in the relationship. That's bull crap. There's no love in the relationship, so I have to go look for love outside. But it's a reason that people give. Another one is, situational factors and opportunities that present themselves. You went to drink, you've had too much to drink, and then things get too hot with whoever it is that you're hanging out with, and you end up in a one-night stand. Or you are wanting physical succor after a stressful event or a stressful season in your life. Stress at work, stress at home, your spouse at home is giving you grief, and situation, the loss of a loved one, and you are looking for comfort, and of course the devil will always provide somebody to offer that comfort or offer that succor illegally, and then you fall into sexual sin. Sometimes being in an environment with a lot of physical touch, with a lot of emotional connection with the wrong people. It's like you go dancing and someone is holding you and touching you. That situation can be so, arousing. And then you end up just going with the flow, So those are situational factors or opportunities that present themselves for immoral activity. Another one is commitment issues. Sometimes people have big commitment issues, and it manifests in them jumping from one person to the other, and they just keep sleeping. Single people, a lot of single men fall into this group. They just have commitment issues, so they keep, sleeping up with anybody who is available to offer sex. Unmet needs. Sexual deprivation in marriage, for instance. When a couple, for whatever reason, they are fighting or health issues or whatever, and the husband is starved, sexually deprived, and they want to go and look for a way out. They go to another bed. And the Bible was very, very clear on this matter. And it's when he says to couples, do not deny one another because of temptation to sexual sin. Even if you are deciding not to have marital relations for a season because of prayer, he says soon after the prayer and the fasting is done, get back together lest you be tempted. So we have, that sexual deprivation or unmet needs. And even the unmet needs can also be emotional needs, when a man is being ignored because a baby came, and he's looking for succor, he's looking for emotional connection, then he goes to go and, explore things outside. High sex drive. There are some people who have a high sex drive, that their spouse is not satisfying them. High testosterone levels, and high sex drive, that their spouse is not satisfying them, so they go to look for satisfaction outside. Some people wanting variety. Sex has become very boring at home, and they are really, fantasizing what could be. And because it's fantasy in the head, if they dwell on it for long enough, Satan will provide a candidate to explore that fantasy. That's just the way it works. So wanting variety because things have gone stale in their marital bed, and the fantasy just consumes them until they find an outlet to explore that fantasy. Some people, cheat because of low self-esteem. They have low self-esteem. So if whatever it is that their spouse tells them, they feel like their spouse is patronizing them. So they feel like, exploring, with someone else and the person complimenting them satisfies that need. They feel they are wonderful. They feel they are powerful in bed. And that low self-esteem drives them to go looking for validation and looking for stuff outside. Yeah. Number 9, some people cheat because they want to get out of the relationship. So some people intentionally go to commit adultery so that their spouse can divorce them, because they don't have the what do you call it? They don't have the the effrontery to say, I don't want anymore. So they decide to go exploring other options to create avenue for breaking the relationship. Some people are funny. There's number 10, wanting and looking for deeper connection. This happens when a couple are fighting. Their relationship has really fallen on bad times and hard times, and they are no longer connecting with their spouse. So they begin to look for where to go and make a connection. And, that leads them to strange beds. Some people, number 11, some people are sociopathic and narcissistic. Sociopathic and narcissistic traits. A narcissist just thinks about themselves, how to satisfy themselves. They don't think about anybody else. They're so selfish, it's all about them. And that will make them go look for somebody else and not care how, their actions is going to affect their spouse, because it's all about them. It's all about what satisfies them. So narcissistic tendencies can push somebody to go and cheat. Number 12, substance abuse. People get drunk, and then, things go out of hand. People are on drugs, and they look for excitation and arousal and gratification. So substance abuse can lead to cheating. And there is mental health issues. Mental health issues, bipolar disorder. I once counseled someone who, her husband was, having bipolar disorder. And they went on holiday, vacation somewhere. And at the vacation retreat, the vacation resort, the husband found a girl there. And right there, he slept with someone else. And his wife was there on vacation with him. So bipolar disorder can create that. Mental health issues. Validation pursuits. People are looking for validation. They're looking for someone to affirm them. They're looking for someone to validate them, validate their virality. Maybe a couple have been struggling for a while to have a baby and it's not happening. And they are feeling, maybe something is wrong with me. Let me go and check it, by sleeping with someone else to check if they will fall pregnant, those kind of things. So looking for validation. And number 15 is emotional immaturity. The emotional immaturity is not allowing them to be able to sit down to iron their issues out. They're having issues. Every marriage has issues. But now the people involved, the man, we're talking about the man now, he doesn't have the emotional maturity to engage his wife to sit down to discuss issues. So he chooses the easy way to go and explore outside because he can't face the things that they are dealing with at home and trash them out. So emotional immaturity, he goes to commit adultery elsewhere. Now, the reasons can be, the list can be ongoing. Let me stop at 15. There could be a number, other things coming out. But listen. When you think about all the 15 that I gave and any other one you can add to the list, I want to put on the table tonight that these are leaves on the tree. This is not the root. These are secondary reasons why people cheat. The fundamental reason why people cheat, the fundamental reason why a man cheats is indiscipline. They are not able to discipline their appetite, their sex drive, their thoughts. It's indiscipline. That's what it is. Their passions. And they are not able to regulate and control their passions in accordance with the word of God. I am speaking to a Christian audience now. I'm speaking to people who are born again. I'm speaking to people who are supposed to live their lives according to the word of God. So it's indiscipline. Your unwillingness to discipline your mind and discipline your thoughts. That is what it is. It's indiscipline that leads to infidelity. So that's the fundamental reason. All the other things that we have talked about right now, they are secondary. The first reason and the primary operating system for infidelities is indiscipline. Just accept it is the truth. You refuse to discipline yourself. You refuse to discipline your thought. Listen, they say adultery occurs in the head long before it occurs in the bed. It occurs in the head long before it occurs in the bed, meaning that you fail to control your thoughts. You fail to bridle your passions and your sex drive. You fail to contain it. You have been living in a fantasy in your head, imagining doing crazy things with whosoever in your head for a while before it played out in a bed somewhere, in a hotel room somewhere, in a house somewhere. It was in your head. So you failed in your head first. That's the truth. Now, this is important. This is very important. So adultery starts in the mind before it ends up manifesting in a bed somewhere. It starts in the mind. So a woman, and every woman who is listening to me tonight, you need to pay attention to this. If adultery is first of all a failure to manage and control what is going on in between the ears, it means that if we can check it in the head first, it will not manifest in the bed. If we can stop it and block it in the head, it will not manifest in the bed. So what it means is that a woman can learn and understand what they need to do to check it in the head. Now, let's get that. So it happens in the head before it happens in the bed. It happens in the head before it happens in the bed. So we have an opportunity to kill it in the head before it manifests in the bed. Now let's move forward. Is the woman is she at a disadvantage to have to deal with cheating men? I once saw a woman on Facebook, saying that all men will cheat. So, she was advising sisters, her fellow sisters, to get used to the idea and accept it that their man will cheat, will sleep with somebody at some point or the other. And he's saying men are like that, they can't help themselves. Nothing can be further from the truth. Nothing can be further from, that's a lie from the pit of hell. That's a big lie from the pit of hell. So, woman, listen to me. You are not powerless. It's powerlessness that is making a woman accept that nonsense. It is. Powerlessness, a sense of powerlessness, a sense of, a victimhood that is making you accept that, your man will cheat on you at some point, so you need to prepare and accept it that it's an inevitability that you have bought into a lie. It's not true. You are not powerless. I wrote a book many years ago, The Amazing Power of Woman. I want to get into some things I shared in this book. If you haven't read this book, you need to order for a copy of this book. Send a message. There's a number that will come up on the screen, +2781 421 0835. Send a message. Yeah, there it is on the screen, +2781 421 0835. Send a message and say, I want a copy of Pastor Chuks' book, The Amazing Power of Woman. All right, I want to delve into some things that God showed me in that book. Now, listen. I documented it in the book. Let's go back to the beginning when our first parents, Adam and Eve, were in the garden. After they disobeyed God, something God spoke when he was telling them the consequences of their action. I read at Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. He says, I will put enmity between you and the woman. I will put enmity. I will put opposition. I will put fight, enmity. I don't know the number of synonyms you can put there. I will put bitterness. I'll put opposition between you and between you and the woman. So there is an ongoing hostility. There's an ongoing beef between Satan and the woman. Please pay attention. And between your seed and her seed. So this is God speaking to Satan and through the snake. There's enmity between you and the woman between your seed and his seed. Between your seed, the seed of the serpent, and the seed of the woman. So something that is going to come out of you, Satan. Please pay attention. This is powerful revelation. Something that is going to come out of you, Satan, is going to have lifelong enmity with something that is going to come out of the woman. Now, we know that the promise of a redeemer, the promise of a Messiah, is contained in this statement from God. But I want to open up the application of the principle here, because the principle that something that comes out from the woman and something that comes out from the enemy will have enmity, they will have opposition. And they will, look at it says, he shall bruise your head. Something that came out of the woman will bruise the head of the serpent. And you shall bruise his heel. You will bruise the heel of that which came out of the woman. Now pay attention, pay attention. This is really powerful stuff. Okay, so the head of the serpent is what the seed of the woman is going to crush. The head of the serpent, not the belly, not the heart, the head. What does the head of the serpent signify? The head is where thinking occurs. The head is where thinking and strategy and plotting occurs. So thoughts are formed in the head. Something that proceeds out of the woman will deal with the head of the serpent. Now, let me say this. Woman is targeted by the enemy. But can I suggest tonight that this antagonism is a two-way street? Is a two-way street. The enemy is antagonizing the woman, but also the woman is antagonizing the enemy. The woman is in opposition to the devil. Oh, the woman, listen to me. The woman is the devil's worst nightmare. Not only because he says, I'll put enmity, I'll put opposition. So it's not just that Satan is opposing the woman is also opposing Satan. When a woman who knows her power, come on. When a woman who knows her power, I documented this revelation in this book, you need to get it. When a woman who knows her power shows up, Satan backs down. Satan is shaking in his boots because the opposition is a two-way. While the woman is attacked by the enemy, the woman has power to attack the enemy too. While the enemy attacks the woman and opposes the woman, hey, woman of God, hear me, you have power to attack the enemy. Something that comes out from your womb, the seed proceeds from the womb of the woman. And when we're talking about womb here, we're not just talking about the physical womb. There's a principle there. Woman is man with a womb. So something that the woman conceives, something that the woman gives birth to, is able to deal with what is in the head of the serpent. Please hear this, hear this, hear this, hear this. Now, when a man goes to cheat, we said that the reason why he cheats is that he is indisciplined in his head. He is indisciplined in his thoughts. So what is going on there is that Satan, listen, Satan takes his thoughts and plants it in the thought of the man. So Satan plants his head in the head of the man. Oh, yeah. See, adultery and infidelity is a work of the flesh. Is Satan. See, they say Satan made me do it. It's not Satan that made you do it. You chose to do it. But it's Satan's ideas. The temptation to go and sleep with somebody outside of your marriage is Satan's ideas. In other words, Satan plants his head in the head of the man or the woman who cheats. But we remember that our topic today is that we are looking at why men cheat. So the head of Satan is planted in the head of the man. The thoughts of Satan. Satan thinks his thoughts, takes his thoughts and projects it. And every temptation is the projection of the thoughts of the enemy. You may think it's you that is thinking it, that you need a release. You need to, no, Satan planted his head in your head. But hear me, woman of God, you have been given power to bet things that crush the head of Satan. Oh, yeah. You have been given power. This is a mystery. This is a powerful mystery right here. You have been given the power to conceive and to bet things out of your womb that will crush the head of the serpent, the head of Satan. In other words, the thoughts that are being planted in your man's head to go and cheat, you have the power to kill it. You have to bet something that kills it. That's the principle right there. You have the power to kill. Now, if you don't know your power and you don't know the revelation, you feel like a victim. You feel like, no, you are never a victim. You are too powerful to be a victim. God never left the woman as a victim to deal with whatever the man does. No. You can kill it because something that proceeds out of you crushes the head, not the heart, not the stomach, the head, the thinking. So while the enemy is trying to plant it in your husband's seed, in your husband's head, you can kill it there if you know your power. But if you don't know your power, you won't even know when it is being planted. You won't even know when it's being planted. But if you know your power, you'll be able to sense it. You'll be able to know something is being planted in the head of your husband, and you know that you have the power to crush the head of the serpent, which has now been planted in the head of your husband. The thoughts of the enemy, the thoughts to go and cheat, is planted in the head of your husband, but you have the power to crush it there before it manifests, if you know what I'm talking about. This is why I encourage you need to read my book. You need to buy this book and read it so that you understand. Listen, all that heartache you are going through because your husband cheated, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. If you understand the spirit, the revelation of what I'm sharing today, it's unnecessary. You don't have to be a victim of his indiscipline. Come on, somebody. You don't have to be a victim of his indiscipline, of Satan putting pressure on his mind, Satan putting pressure on his emotions, Satan putting pressure on his sex drive to drive him to go and cheat. You don't have to be a victim of that. This is why you must be sensitive as a woman of God. You must know what is going on. Listen, this is so powerful. When you know your power and know how to engage it, you can block that thought and scatter it before it forms and leads to action. So why he's contemplating, if you know your power, you got to know. And then the Lord will show you, when he's thinking, if you know your power and you're spiritually aware. Listen. I explained it in this book. Do you know that the last person who entered into the Garden of Eden was the woman? Nobody else, nothing else came in after her. She was the last person who came in. So when she came in, the door was closed. What that tells us is one of the amazing power that woman has is that she is an emotional door closer. When she enters, she closes the door. She has the power to close the door of emotional vulnerability, emotional wandering. She has the power to close the door. This is the reason why, when a man gets married, they say he has settled down. He's no longer wandering. He's no longer sowing wild oats. He has settled down. Because a good woman who knows her power is able to close that door. God created a woman with the ability to close doors. So if a vacancy is left in your man, you have the power to close it. If you understood your power, you can close that door and make sure you have power. I'm telling you now, you have power. The problem is that you don't know that you have power, but you do have power. You can close that door and stop him from wandering. You can close that door. This is so powerful revelation. I'm going to continue this teaching next week. But take it from me tonight that you can crush the thoughts of infidelity before they arise. While it's breeding in your husband's head, while Satan is trying to plant the seeds, if you know your power, you can kill it. Oh, the Bible says the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. They are mighty through God. For what? for pulling down strongholds, imaginations, thoughts. So it's a viable biblical principle. You can pull it down in his head before he has a chance to execute it. You can pull it down in his head. This is why you got to be a prayerful woman. This is why you got to understand what is going on. Now listen to this. He says the seed of the woman, something that comes out from the woman, will crush. Crush speaks of power. Crush speaks of force. There is enough spiritual force coming out from your spirit to crush those negative thoughts, those in adulterous thoughts, those lecherous thoughts in your man's head. If you know what you are doing, listen. The Bible tells us, I don't have time to get into it today in depth, but in 1 Corinthians chapter 11, the Bible tells us that the man is the head of the woman. The man is the head of the woman. And that the woman should cover his head. Or cover her head, rather. Meaning the woman should cover her husband. So if the man is the head of the woman, the Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians 11, and she covers it. Meaning that you can stop nonsense from going on in your husband's head. You can stop nonsense. If you're a prayerful woman, you understand your power. You can cover his head. You can cover your head, rather. You can cover your head and make sure that all nonsense the enemy is firing there. As he's firing, you are putting them out. You are blocking them. This is why you got to learn how to pray. You got to learn how to pray. Listen, you are an opposition to the devil. You have power to oppose the devil. God said that to us. So don't think Satan is the only one who opposes you. No, you have power to oppose Satan. You have power to stop him. You have power to shut him down, because the enmity is two-way. It's two-way. So while he has power to create obstacles for you, to block you, to resist you, you have power to resist him. The Bible says, resist the devil, he will flee from you. So you have power to resist him in your husband's head. And I want to leave you with that. That's the first thing you can do. There's a lot more. I will get into it next week. There's a lot more you can do to stop your man from cheating, to protect your man from being vulnerable to the devil. Oh yes, there's a lot you can do. And so if you have been feeling vulnerable, feeling powerless, like you don't know, no, it's because you don't know your power. You don't know your power. When you know your power, you know that you are not a victim. You are powerful, and you can wield your powerful and pull that man back. You can wield your powerful and wrest your man from the strange, evil, adulterous woman. Oh yes, the seducer. You can pull your husband out of the web of the seducer. I am telling you. While the man has a responsibility to control his thoughts, but you have power. That you can wield your power to pull down strongholds in his mind. So don't be a victim. Don't feel powerless. I will fold it there. My time is up for tonight. I will continue next week on part 2 of this teaching. Why men cheat and what women can do about it. So the first thing I'm putting on the table, you have access, spiritual access to his mind, to crush it. God gave you the power to birth things, to birth ideas, to birth spiritual force that crushes the head of the serpent. And which the head of the serpent is planted in the head of your husband, so you can crush it right there. I have power. Say it. I have power to crush the head of the serpent. I have power to terminate his strategies, to terminate the evil thoughts going on. I have that power, and you got to use your power. God bless you. I got to stop here for tonight. I'll see you next Friday. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy this weekend very much. Share this video with a sister, with a girlfriend, with somebody. Let it go around your circle of friends. If you have had friends who have endured cheating and they have endured infidelity and they are afraid of it, get with them. Share this video and let them be blessed. And all of you, get back next Friday for a continuation of this teaching. Goodbye, good night. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Why are you still single? Do you feel you're not ready yet? Do you say it's not my time yet? Have you made mistakes in the past and now you're stuck in a complicated situation? Or perhaps you've given up totally on the idea of marriage? Why not join Pastor Chukso Goye, author of The Amazing Power of Woman book, and his wife, Pastor Toyin, the founders of the Power of Woman Academy, at the next Single Ladies Boot Camp to explore and answer your questions. A big miracle could be waiting for you. For more information, visit www.stlbc.co.za or WhatsApp 081 421 0835.